By the time you finish watching this, the world of AI will have already changed. Seriously, we are in a revolution that's moving so fast, the rulebook is basically being rewritten in real time. So today, we're going to break down the four huge forces that are driving this whole thing, so you can actually understand what's really going on. Okay, so October 19th, 2025. I want you to remember this date. This isn't just some random day on the calendar. It's the moment we've pinpointed as the critical turning point for artificial intelligence. Because this is the day the conversation totally shifted. It went from what AI could do to what it is doing, right now in our lives, in our jobs, in our economies. So the real question, the one that matters, is, are you ready for what that actually means? Let's get into it. We've broken this massive shift down into four key forces. We're going to look at the epic battle for control, the real-world impact on all of our jobs, the absolutely mind-blowing scientific breakthroughs, and of course, the global fight over how to manage all of it.
All right, first up, the platform wars. And look, this isn't just about who's got the smartest AI. No, this is a battle to own the very foundation of our entire digital future. It's a flat-out race to build the new operating system for intelligence itself.
Leading the charge, of course, is OpenAI. And they're not just building another product, they are building the toll booth for the entire AI economy. With their ChatGPT apps, SDK, and just a staggering 800 million weekly users, they're making an aggressive play to control the infrastructure, the distribution, and the money for a whole new generation of AI services. And the stakes here? Well, they could not be higher. A recent share sale just skyrocketed OpenAI's valuation to an insane $500 billion. That makes it the most valuable private startup in history. I mean, that's the price tag for building the future, right there. But here's the thing, it's not a winner-take-all game, not even close. What we're actually seeing is the start of the token wars. Just think of tokens as the words and bits of data that an AI processes. Now, what's really fascinating here is that while OpenAI totally dominates the consumer space, it's Google that actually processes the most tokens overall, mainly because of how much they use it inside their own walls. And then you have the high-stakes enterprise market, where trust and safety are everything, and that's where Anthropic has carved out a really clear lead. This competition is just driving incredible specialization. So let's take a quick look at this. You can see how each of these big players is carving out its own niche. Google's Gemini, with that massive context window, that's how much info it can remember at once. It's a beast at large-scale data processing. Anthropic's Claude? It's the go-to for building reliable, trustworthy agents for business. And xAI's Grok? It's tapping into real-time social data. So you see, they're not all fighting for the same throne. They're busy creating their own kingdoms. But this whole tech race, it's not just happening in boardrooms. It's having a profound, and let's be honest, a deeply personal impact on every single one of us. And that brings us to our second force, the human disruption. This is creating something that experts are calling the skills paradox, and you can see it plain as day right here. On the left, you've got these routine white-collar jobs. Think software testing, data processing. They're getting automated, leading to layoffs at big firms like Accenture and Infosys. But on the right, those exact same companies are desperately trying to hire people with new AI-native skills. So we're seeing mass layoffs and a critical talent shortage at the exact same time. It's wild. And what's so important to understand is that this isn't some temporary downturn. It's a fundamental restructuring of what work even is. As Dean P.K. Agarwal puts it, it's a classic cycle of creative destruction. The challenge isn't a future with no jobs. The challenge is a present, where we are failing to build the bridge to the jobs of the future. And this chart shows you exactly why that bridge is failing. I mean, despite all the massive investment, a BCG report found that only 5% of companies are actually getting real value from AI. And the reason is right here. Look at that training gap. Companies are buying the software, but a stunning 62% of their workers aren't getting the training they need to actually use it well. Okay, but this disruption, it has an absolutely awe-inspiring flip side, and that's our third force, the discovery engine. AI is evolving from just being a data analysis tool into a true creative partner, and it is completely revolutionizing science as we know it. For centuries, literally centuries, the scientific method has worked one way. A human comes up with an idea, a hypothesis, and then uses data to test it. Well, that's now being turned completely upside down. AI can analyze these enormous data sets and generate completely new hypotheses that a human researcher might never, ever have thought of. And this is not theoretical stuff. Just this month, Google DeepMind's AI did something truly extraordinary. It analyzed tumor data and proposed a hypothesis that no human had ever considered, that this specific drug, silmetacertib, could unlock the power of immunotherapy for certain cancers. This idea existed nowhere in the scientific literature, and when they tested it in the lab, the AI was right. This is AI as a creative partner in curing disease. It's just incredible.
So, this brings us to our final force. Because with technology this powerful, a global debate is just raging about how to control it. And this is the governance divide. And we are seeing a major split in philosophies. On one side, you've got the European Union building what you could call a fortress. Their big AI Act is all about rights, it's cautious, and it's aiming for trustworthy AI. But on the other side, the US looks a lot more like a frontier. It's market-driven, it's innovation first, and there are these fierce debates between states and the federal government about who even gets to set the rules. And this divide exists because, well, the ethical stakes are just enormous. As you can see, AI is a classic double-edged sword. It's becoming essential for things like national security, but at the same time, it's being weaponized for cyber attacks and disinformation. With bad actors now using multiple AI models together, a clear consensus is starting to form. In the face of these kinds of complex threats, AI must always be a tool to assist, and never a replacement for final human judgment. So, after exploring these four massive shifts, platform wars, human disruption, scientific discovery, and the governance debate, what does it all mean? Where do we go from here?
Well, the key takeaway is this. These aren't separate things happening. They are like four tectonic plates grinding against each other all at once. A whole new economic platform is being built right on top of a workforce that's being completely reinvented, all while the very pace of science accelerates as the entire world argues over the rules of the road.
The fundamental grammar of how our world works, how we compete, how we work, how we discover, it's all being rewritten as we speak. So the only question that really matters now is a personal one. In this new world, what role are you going to play in writing the next chapter?